really just want a Guy. I just really want a Guy Gardner movie so I can see him get punched into space.
I think Bowl Cuts should make a comeback if they make a Guy Gardner movie.
I did a Bowl Cut.
Were you guys literally holding on to that until I hit record?
Kind of.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we got to have something for the cold open.
It was more kicking it around.
All right.
I don't use my hands.
Hello and welcome to The Orig, a show by Damage Control Podcasting, a professionally unprofessional look at the conventions, ideas, and genres in filmmaking. I'm here with...
Cody Dietrich.
Cody Dietrich.
Cody Dietrich.
Oh, you guys are dicks. Okay.
Well, my fellow Cody Dietrich, we now rise up against our oppressor.
The Council of Codys has convened.
This episode,
Oh, good. I want to talk about that.
This episode's topic is a bunch of random crap I couldn't spread out to a full episode, so it's the Rando Episodo.
Is that not every episode
Why
of...
didn't you just do Rando Episode?
Well, you're going to see I try to get a lot of shit to rhyme on here. So, okay. So, 2023, half over. We're going to talk about We're going to talk about movies that come out. I want to give it a see it or a stream it. Okay?
All right.
First, I said give it a 23 or a streaming. It was a stretch on that one.
Yeah, that's pretty hard.
Okay, so
23 or Stream Me? Why don't you do Stream Me?
You know what, motherfucker?
Isn't 23 and Stream Me on Pornhub?
Yeah.
I seem to remember watching that one.
It's more like...
I don't know. I turn the volume down and then make up my own things that they're saying.
Okay. Quantum Mania. And these are just movies...
It's just, oh, Adam. Oh, Tyler.
Why are we both there?
Oni-chan.
Yeah, because you're doing like the stepbrother but not stepbrother thing.
Oh, I got you.
The porn.
I got you. These are just... I only listed the movies that
Hey, Tyler's blushing. It counts.
It don't bother me. It's not gay for family. I only listed the movies that I thought was reasonable for us. Quantum Mania. You guys can give like a few words about it if you want.
Yeah, I saw it. I liked it.
You thought it was decent?
Yeah, I went and saw it in theaters. It does not deserve the hate that it got. But it was relatively weak in some places.
Okay.
I would have saw it in theaters. It just, timing-wise,
It's
wasn't
just
working out for me.
Really tiny and you forgot your magnifying glass?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Okay.
God. You bring up my poor eyesight, why don't you?
Sorry.
Stream it.
Stream it. Okay. Guardians Volume 3.
Oh, that's a theater one for sure. That was so good.
Yeah.
I'd probably stream it. I'm just not... I don't know. I'm kind of burnt out on superhero.
Okay, so I haven't seen these two. I've seen this one. This one, I was supposed to be working when I watched it, but don't leave a computer in the operating room. Fast X.
No.
Oh,
never. None.
Yeah, I'm so checked out of the Fast and Furious.
Look, the Fast movies are not what they started out to be, but this movie even sucks for a Fast movie. Like, it's horrible.
You're gonna find out at the conclusion of this 3-part finale that Dom died after being hit by a fucking train in the first one, and this is all just his brain shutting down.
Well,
if they have the balls to do that in movie 13, I'm binge watching the whole fucking series 100%.
My problem with what I saw of the trailers for the previous movie is, in the previous one before this one, they went to space.
Yes.
How do you top that?
They don't. Trust me, they don't. Jason Momoa was really good in it. He kind of played like a cross between PG-13 Joker and Captain Jack Sparrow.
All right.
It's if it turns out to be true that Vin Diesel has pissed off everyone he works with, so he has to be like CGI'd into.
No, like I heard that too. Like,
you can genuinely tell because his character looks disconnected from everybody. Like,
yeah, like
wow.
Any scenes where he is talking with The Rock, they're not on set together. They are filming their stuff individually, then they are spliced together in that interim.
Interesting.
But to be fair, I was technically working, so I didn't pay that close attention. But the shit I did pay attention to was not good. Okay.
You know, I really appreciate Jason Momoa.
Yeah. He's a reason to at least YouTube the clips of him in this movie because he was actually. His character was really annoying at first, but then he like completely won me over after one scene. And I fucking loved him after one scene.
I mean, as an actor, I appreciate him because he's involved in his like everything that he does, and he's just so authentically himself.
Fair
And
enough.
and this is going to sound odd. I appreciate that he does not wait to have a six pack before he takes his shirt off.
That is true.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's bulking up to be Lobo, because he's a little bit heavier in this movie.
Maybe.
Have you seen his Super Bowl commercial? Jason Momoa?
Yes.
I don't think so.
He like walks in and he's talking about like how people look and stuff, and he goes like this and like pulls off like a fake muscular arm.
Yeah, this is.
And,
Oh,
like,
yes, I have
pulls
seen
off
that.
his hair.
This is
and,
a couple years ago.
He like takes off like a corset and has like a huge gut.
Yeah.
It's
I just-
hilarious.
Like, it's those series of types of commercials where they make poke fun at themselves I really enjoyed. Like, I give a lot of respect to people who are able to do that. Like, I even gave Justin Bieber some credit for his Super Bowl commercial he did. Where
Okay, I'm turning your mic on mute now. For giving Justin Bieber any credit.
he had a funny commercial with Ozzy Osbourne, because they was talking about how cell phones were replaced so often that Ozzy is doing a cell phone commercial, and then by the time he can't even get the commercial finished, they got a new one out, and they replaced him with Justin Bieber, and then it's Justin Bieber's operating the boom mic, and he's like, what the hell's a Generation 6? Ozzy's like, what the hell's a Bieber? And the boom mic guy is Justin Bieber in disguise, and like, I don't know, it kind of looks like a girl to me.
Oh yeah, okay, I've seen that one.
So
that's pretty funny.
I guess my verdict is YouTube the Jason Momoa clips.
Okay.
All right. We kind of talked about this a couple times, but Shazam! Fury of the Gods.
I still haven't seen it, but I have access to it anytime I want.
And you still haven't seen it.
I still haven't
that
seen
kind
it.
of gives a.
I saw it in theaters because I had high hopes. It wasn't bad. It was just
Not good.
another middle of the road superhero movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of has no. If the world's getting reset, like, it doesn't really have any bearing. It's part of a continued thing. If they're not going to keep any of the stuff over for the universe, like, I don't see a point.
I
in
mean,
it.
Go ahead.
I think you said it where you have the Zachary Levi's Shazam is more childlike than the Billy Batson character. Or I heard someone say it.
No, I think I said that at some point. But
Yeah, like-
that sounds wise and informed, so it's probably something I said.
Oh, wow.
Okay. 65.
That was decent.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say stream it. It's not a like a movie theater kind of movie, but
Okay.
it's like kind of generic sci-fi, and then you throw dinosaurs in. It's not bad. It's nothing special.
But it's got Kylo Ren in it.
Yeah, he was a fine jump.
Would you say Jurassic Park with Kylo Ren?
No.
No.
No, I would not say that because there is significantly fewer dinosaurs in this one.
Well,
Significantly fewer lightsabers.
I thought you were going to say I would not say that because that's fucking stupid to say.
I don't remember any lightsabers in Jurassic World.
John Wick 4.
I honestly haven't seen any of the John Wick movies.
Same.
I've seen the Baba Yaga scene where they're talking about him, and I've wanted to watch all the movies, but I just haven't ever sat down to do it.
I've definitely seen 1 and 2 and really enjoyed them. Keanu Reeves is really good in that role. I have not seen 4 for sure. I don't know if I've seen 3 or not. I have to rewatch 3.
Do you like the idea that John Wick is just a training program for Neo?
I mean, I don't think there's any evidence to support it, but it's a neat idea.
He has no imagination. He just can't.
I mean,
go
it's a cool
It's
idea,
a
but I
cool
like it.
fan theory.
I know. That's
That's
what we are. Evil Dead Rise.
That was great.
Have you seen it?
I did. I saw it
It's
last
awesome.
week.
It's awesome, isn't it? Did you make,
I don't like
Goober here
horror,
watch
so I
it?
didn't.
Not yet.
Right there with you, Cody.
It is on our list of movies for when I win the bet that
Yeah.
he's going to watch.
Yeah.
He's going to watch the
It's
remake
good.
of Evil Dead and Evil Dead Rises, 2 of my 4 movies.
Well, this has kind of been a point of contention between us because the rules we have to further define
Yeah,
the rules of the bet because
We do need to do that because we realized after listening to the episode there's no way for Cody to win. So we need to put...
Why don't you keep your mouth shut, Daniel?
because he's a fair person, Adam,
Yeah, I'm the one that brought it up to him.
I wouldn't.
That there is absolutely no parameter for him to win.
and it doesn't
Not
help that the Jonathan Major things have really fucked up.
Oh,
my
no.
reason for taking the bet.
Oh, no. You can't back out of the
I'm
bet.
not backing out. I'm just saying I said this when I thought he was still on board.
It doesn't
then
matter.
He's not on the board, but now he might be back on board.
When was he? He was never off the board.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, he was actually off.
Yeah,
the board?
they actually changed a lot of the release dates. So like Deadpool got moved up,
right?
And then they shoved Secret Wars back a year, and they shoved Kang Dynasty back, and I think they swapped Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars.
But now he's back on the board.
They haven't fired him yet. He's right now he's playing the I'm a method actor card, and seeing if that sticks.
The Robert Pattinson, he's gone on record saying that because they asked him if he was a method actor, and he said no, and he goes, "Have you ever noticed that no one ever method acts being a nice guy? It's like you hear like all these actors who are pricks to people, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm a method actor, but you never hear like a story of someone being nice and saying, yeah, I'm just a method actor. They always use that as an excuse to be a dick."
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is here too. And frankly, if they don't recast Jonathan Majors as Kang, they're going to run into the same problems as DC ran with Ezra Miller and Flash.
This does not mean to be a racist thing, but what about the dude that was in Tenet? Is it Denzel Washington's son?
Oh yeah.
Could he? Not that all black people look the same, but I mean like acting wise. I mean he does happen to be black.
I've never
acting wise. Do you think he could?
I haven't seen Tenet either. I was thinking now. Now if I'm getting not getting my actors mixed up, Michael B. Jordan played Killmonger, right?
Yes.
Okay, because I was thinking because he also plays Creed in the Creed movies.
Yes.
I was thinking that he would be a good Kang, but that muddles things.
Yeah, could Killmonger be a variation? Could they just change the story a little bit and Killmonger be a variation of?
I think it would be a real shit story show if they were going to do that.
Okay,
so did he get? Is he guilty of whatever? I don't
think he's been convicted yet, and I think that's what Marvel's holding out for. Is they're waiting for a conviction.
I got the solution. Here's how to have your cake and eat it too. We want Robert Downey Jr. to be back in the thing. Have him do blackface like Tropic Thunder. He got away with it in Tropic Thunder.
That was a long time ago. Right?
I never saw.
Even the actors in that movie talk about, could you do a movie like this today? And Robert Downey Jr. is like, no, because apparently Jamie Foxx wanted him to play a Mexican in Django.
But see,
and
it would have been Quentin Tarantino.
And Jamie Foxx gave him such shit because he wouldn't do it. Like, what? You already played the black guy.
But Jamie Foxx has gone on record, and Howard Stern said that he ain't got no problem with it. He thought it was funny. Or no, it was Joe Rogan.
Yeah, it was Joe Rogan that he was on. Yeah, and
when he wasn't talking about HGH, he was actually.
Yeah, because I saw the Robert Downey Jr. Seth Rogen or Joe Rogan interview, and he's like, "You could make it, but like you have a lot of problems that come up with it." And his own mom was trying to talk him out of the role. He's like, "I don't know if this is a good idea."
But I think what makes it okay is like they address like, dude, this isn't right, and he's like, "I'm a method actor." We're bringing up method acting.
Yeah.
Okay. Knock at the Cabin.
Also, pretty decent.
Very good.
Not exactly what I was expecting it to be, but yeah, not bad. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
See it. Is that on his list?
No, it's not scary.
Okay.
It's
on my list to watch. It's a movie I'd actually watch because it's not a straight up horror movie. It's a suspense thriller.
All right, then don't put it on the list.
Yeah, definitely not. I've got Evil Dead and Evil Dead Rises as 1 and 2. I don't know about 3 and 4 yet.
Speaking of our
I'm thinking maybe one of the Insidious movies.
Oh, please no.
Oh, yeah, there's a new one coming out too.
Yeah, I heard that one's not as scary.
Or it's already out.
Red Door. But Insidious 3 I saw in theaters, and it was one that like in minute 3 or 4, I was scared and terrified, and the movie never lets up. Like, there's no brevity, there's no relax. You are on edge for the entire movie.
That's about the paraplegic girl, right?
Or
not paraplegic, but she's in a wheelchair in bed.
No, I don't think so.
How do you get a wheelchair in a bed?
Very carefully.
I think that's one of the Conjuring movies.
No, that's Insidious. There's Insidious 1 and 2, which involve the same family.
Yeah.
There's 3 with the girl. That takes place before 1 and 2. And then there's The Last Key with the one the ghost that locks him up, and the further. That takes place before all of them.
Oh, is there 5 of them?
The new one that just came out is 5.
Huh. I might be behind on my Insidious movies. I need to go rewatch the series.
Last Key's number 4.
Okay. So yeah, I'll have to rewatch it and find out which one's the scariest, so I can put that into the list.
All right.
Mine is minor annoyance for you. You're about to give me nightmares for years.
I have asked you to watch basically 8 hours of movies with me. You've asked me to watch 22 hours of anime.
Naked.
Yeah, like it's not equivalent on how much it's going to scar you.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
You have to play with his gum fruits.
Speaking of our next previously on episode, this apparently is the new franchise, the new sci-fi Sharknado franchise, Cocaine Bear.
It was kind of disappointing, to be honest, to me.
Isn't it?
Yeah, like I saw it and it was like, okay, so I went in expecting it to be like action comedy.
Yeah.
And the comedy was really fall flat, and there's some serious like horror suspense moments in it. And this kind of falls into my opinion of Moonfall, which I watched this week for the first time. The movie couldn't decide what kind of fucking movie it wanted to be.
Yeah.
Like, it needs to pick, are you going to be an action movie? Are you going to be an action comedy? Are you going to be comedy? Are you going to be horror? Are you going to action horror? Like, pick a genre and stick with it and run with it.
Speaking of Insidious, Patrick Wilson's in that.
Who?
The dude from the dad from Insidious, the first two Insidious.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear who you said.
Oh.
Phantom of the Opera.
Patrick Wilson?
Yeah.
Who was he in Phantom Opera?
The Count.
Oh, is that the same one that Gerard Butler played the Phantom?
Yeah.
Oh.
And he's what's his fuck from The Conjuring.
And he was in Watchmen.
Yeah, let's name everything he's been in.
He was Dan Dryberg?
No, the Night Owl 2.
Yeah, Dan Dryberg.
Okay, yeah. And he gets his penis cut off by I don't know what her name is now. Elliot Page in Hard Candy.
And he was in Moonfall as the astronaut.
That's what I heard.
He was in Lakeview Terrace.
Anyway, I say franchise because
I'm kind of fucking lost. I don't even know who you're talking about.
Now I say franchise because Cocaine Bear came out. There's Cocaine Shark that came out, and there's another. I think it's like Cocaine Dog or something that's coming out.
I might see Cocaine Shark because, frankly, that's what Deep Blue Sea was. So,
isn't that more like sharks on HGH?
I mean,
that's twice I've said that.
Deepest bluest, my nose is like a snowball.
Yeah, like Deep Blue Sea, that's the one where it's not Samuel L. Jackson. Who is it? He's like, we are not gonna die.
That's Samuel L. Jackson.
That's Samuel L. Jackson. Then immediately gets eaten by a shark.
Yeah,
that's Deep Blue Sea.
That's
right?
the one.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a really shitty actor in that movie. What's his name?
You can fuck off.
What's his name? He's got a February birthday.
Yeah, it was like Jane something.
Yeah.
But you can also
is that
find
the guy from that Punisher movie?
Yeah.
That I bought specifically to do a pod with you with, and then you lost the episode.
Okay, that was the first episode.
So speaking of Thomas Jane, check out the archive channel that has Jane's Got a Pod, the one episode that survived.
I got 2 episodes.
And 2 episodes that survived that 3-episode disaster. And you can check out Adam and I, who watched and did commentary over Deep Blue Sea.
And I was extremely hyper. And someone at work just watched it and they said the same thing. Scream 6?
Decent. Scream 5 was better, but Scream 6 was hit all the right notes, in my opinion. I like Scream 6.
Is that on his list?
No, it's not scary.
I like Scream 1, Scream 2. Scream 3 was the one I remember watching the most.
Yeah, we watched it in the van a lot.
I have the soundtrack to Scream 3. Scream 3 had a hell of a soundtrack.
Really?
Yeah.
And then
Creed? Was Creed on there?
Probably.
Huh.
Scream 4, I don't really remember. Is that the one with
Rory McCulkin?
Yeah, I saw that one once. I didn't watch 5 or 6.
Yeah, you really have to hit a lot of movies I like.
5 is real good. And then 6 was pretty decent.
I still think the best part of Scream 1 was Matthew Lillard.
5 and 6 you can kind of watch without seeing the other ones. There are connections, but if you got any common sense, you can kind of put it together.
Oh, yeah. Because I don't remember 2, 3, or 4 hardly at all. I just know they existed and I saw them.
2 has the sexiest bad guy.
Oh my God! Fucking
Timothy Oliphant.
You have problems.
And the last movie I put on here because I thought it. I know Cody and Danny are gonna have a thing about this because of his shirt. D&D. I forgot what the subtitle was.
Honor Among Thieves.
Is that a see it or stream it?
I think if you are a Dungeons & Dragons fan and you have not seen it, you need to go see it. It is fantastic and so true to what a real D&D game is like.
You didn't put Indiana Jones on there?
It had just come out, man. We talk about that later.
Dick.
You're definitely
Yeah, I saw. My opinion of it is I saw it. So yeah, go see it.
We saw it in theaters. It was fantastic.
Is it a game of D&D? Like
no, it's a story.
Okay, all right.
But like as players in Dungeons & Dragons, you sit back and go, this is shit that I recognize from the game. Like the character interactions are absolutely 4 friends around a table playing together.
Okay.
The things that come up, you can almost audibly hear the DM face palm when the player's like, let's do this, and then they go and do it, and then you can see where the story just kind of like pivots off of it. It is a fantastic emulation of what an actual D&D game would be.
I didn't know if it was like the movie starts off and it's like people sitting around a table, and then like it goes into the story,
like a Jumanji style thing.
No. Like the dungeon master's talking, and then it fades into it. Like that's how they did it.
They didn't. If I was going to shoot a Dungeons & Dragons movie, that would be my after credit scene. Would be, you wouldn't know it, and then the after credit scene would be pulled back, and you'd see a table, and you'd see the players who are closely resembling their actors or the characters, and it'd be like, all right, guys, you saved the world.
Is Captain Kirk based on a real character, or is that just... Are there any actual characters?
Yeah, James T. Kirk hasn't been born yet, though.
Yes.
He's an actual character?
I don't know about him, but there are real characters in the movie.
Oh, okay.
Well, Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro have come out and said that anything that happens in the movie is technically canon for the end game and the continuity of the game. Like, obviously, anytime that you play a game of D&D, you're able to do whatever you want and you change continuity. But for their actual storyline, whatnot, they are actual characters that appear.
Yeah,
like, there are scenes where I'm running a D&D game and there's a place to visit is a place you can visit in my game. Okay. Like, I had rules for it, and like the guys, I have the name of those guys, prison wardens, there.
Yeah, in the module he's running, the giant red dragon they run into the Underdark. My adventuring party has encountered him before.
Underdark is a good name for a store.
It would be a good name for a store.
I'm assuming that's probably where that came from.
The store came from the guys. That's where they got the name for it.
Oh,
I bought the store and the name from them.
Oh,
and kept the blue sky.
Well, I knew you bought. Okay, cool. Okay, my bad. All right.
I just didn't change the name.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I always thought you should call it above. Like, if you was ever going to do it, since you was never underground, since you had to go upstairs, I wanted you to call it Above Light Comics.
The bus said the same thing. She wanted it to be Overlight.
Wait, a bus said it?
It's a coworker or an employee of mine. Her last name is Bus.
Oh, okay. All right. B-U-S-S?
Yes.
Okay. Here's some...
fucking nosy.
It's making conversation. Making combo. Here's some things that happened in 2023 so far. We don't have to talk about them or whatever. Just things that I thought were related to us. Pop culture risk.
Okay.
Jeremy Renner versus the snowplow. I joke about it now because he's fine.
Yeah, that was a scary couple months kind of following that story, but I'm glad he's all right.
Should have shot it with an arrow.
That's dark. That's way too early.
No,
he's fine now.
You saying that you should lose an arm so we can play Green Arrow was a little dark.
Are you that would have been cool.
Oh man. That
All right. Here's something I didn't know about, and maybe you guys know about, but I just thought it was wild. An author named Susan Mitchian, she committed suicide in 2020, and then this year it revealed she didn't die, and she did it to sell her book.
What?
I can see that.
What's the book?
You have to look it up. It's Susan. Tyler's Googling it for you. Susan Meachien.
So
she publicity stunted her own death.
Publicity stunt. That's the word I was trying to write down. I couldn't think of it.
Romance artist.
Wow, that.
I brought this up because I wanted to ask you guys. That may be a bit too far, but is there any? Can you do a publicity stunt? Like when Ryan Dunn died. He actually died. A movie that he had been in, it was getting ready to come out, was about him as a ghost. Like he dies in the movie, and then he comes back as like a weird jackass style guardian angel for his friend. And people assumed that he didn't actually die until like evidence came out or whatever. But they thought it was a publicity stunt for his movie. Do you think maybe not that far, but you think something like that could be used as a publicity stunt? I
actually remember this. True crime story that I read. I didn't read. I watched on TV this one time. There was this aspiring filmmaker who was trying to basically make a true life crime movie.
And he killed the dudes in his garage.
No, he tried to.
I thought he did it was called the Killing Floor. Like, he put his garage. He worked for. He actually made one movie or something, right? And he was trying to do a Dexter style movie, and so for
I think we're talking about the same thing, but I don't know if he might have actually got a kill off. But I don't know if he actually got a kill off. But he attempted a murder to basically. It would be like he made the movie first, then attempted the murder, and like, oh my god, there's somebody emulating the movie.
Yeah, that's clearly too far because you're hurting somebody. But
I don't know, like, well, something came up recently. You know how we was talking a few episodes back about could you sell a movie on just this person alone?
Yeah,
and then like, well, funny enough, there is an incident that happened in Japan right now. Hayao Miyazaki, he's a famous animator, makes animated movies in Japan. So they were saying he's making an animated movie. This is his last movie that he'll ever be a part of in the company. That's it. No trailer, one poster.
And they don't know. There's no summary of the.
It's based off a book he enjoyed as a child. That's it.
Huh. All right.
So it's got one piece of confirmed artwork shown. The only other cloud it's got is it's his last movie, and it's going directly to IMAX and regular theater release.
Okay. Anything else?
I think that publicity stunts can work, but the moment you start affecting people, especially when you start like broaching into the topic of mental health and grief, like you've crossed the line. Like pretending to commit suicide is a real slap in the face for those with a mental illness who have committed suicide. And then like the way that we become connected to these people who we don't know, that would be just manipulation at its cruelest form.
I know what you're saying, because when Chester Bennington committed suicide, it was at Westview. I was going in, and Mike, it was at work. It was not necessarily an emergency, but it was like I needed to get information out of him to do work because I was at work. We were both clogged in, and he said, "Wait a minute, I'm listening to this," because he was listening to Linkin Park. He's like, "Be quiet. Chester just died. I'm honoring Chester," which is fine, but I'm like, I'm at work. You're at work. I need info out of you now to do my job.
Yeah. I mean, like, we become connected to these people who, you know, these celebrities, these different people. Like, I remember being legitimately upset when Stan Lee died.
Yeah.
I didn't take it that extreme, but when Stan Lee died, I felt legitimately sad. I think that day I watched a couple Marvel movies. The day George Carlin died, I watched probably...
You said 7 curse words that you can't say on the TV.
I said a bunch of those, yeah. I watched 4 or 5 of his specials that weekend, you know? So, I mean, we become connected to these people. And, like, if Peter Cullen died today, I'd be incredibly upset. And I would probably go watch some Transformers stuff. But then to find out 3 years later that it was like, oh no, I was just promoting Optimus Prime's death in the new movie, I would never forgive the man. I would absolutely never forgive him.
I was really upset the day music died because I like listening to music. I'm just trying to cheer everyone up.
No.
That was horrible. You could have gone so many more.
I'll tell you what the best publicity stunt was.
Okay.
For Carrie. They did this hidden cam prank publicity stunt where, like, there was a coffee house and this girl comes in and, like, her boyfriend breaks up with her and she starts screaming and then they shook the tables.
Yeah,
and then knock stuff off the wall and then, like, she screams real good and then, like, all of the tables and stuff go flying away from her.
Yeah,
and it's all movie magic.
That was cool.
That's pretty cool.
That was awesome. And, like, the people... Like, the actors knew about it, but none of the other people in the coffee house knew it was going to happen, so you get genuine reactions from them. And that was a publicity prank for Carrie, and that was the best of all of them.
That was pretty cool.
Well, my acceptable level of promotion is pretty much at the level of what Johnny Knoxville did to promote Jackass 4 or whatever when he appeared on WrestleMania to basically fight like a
Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn,
and that was actually a good match.
No, it wasn't.
That was really good.
No, it wasn't.
And then he did the Royal Rumble too, and he actually survived a little bit. Like that was pretty fun.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool promotion that he did.
Yeah, like that's about level I'm good at.
All right then. Nope. Okay. We talked.
In other words,
we talked about this a little bit. Chat GPT.
I don't know what that is.
It's an AI program.
It's the AI thing.
Oh.
Weird. No. Okay.
See, I've never used it. I've been playing around with a AI art program, which has been interesting and fun. Just to kind of dick around and trying to figure out what I could get it to do and what I can't get it to do. And then I tried the Snapchat AI program. And, of course, my first question of it is, do you dream of electric sheep?
That's from Blade Runner. Tyler.
This is how Skynet happened.
Tyler.
I tried to make Skynet, by the way.
Tyler, that's the original name for Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Really?
Do androids dream of electric sheep?
I didn't know that.
I'm a dickhead.
Yeah, Blade Runner was actually stolen from another unrelated
cyberpunk thing.
Yeah.
So do you think the worries that the tinfoil hat people are having now that this is the first step to Skynet, do you think it's just a fun novelty thing? Everyone's having fun with it.
I think it's a fun novelty thing. I don't think we'll ever create sentience. Now, Cody and I have gone rounds and round on this because he and I have very different opinions on it. I see it as evolution.
Cody's still got the black eye from when you guys went round and round.
I mean, this is a sore subject for sure.
Your tooth is still chipped from his punch, so.
Weird thing is he didn't use his fist when he punched him in the mouth.
No, that was a straight punch with the dick. But I see it as the evolution of art. I see it as the evolution of technology.
Okay.
And yes, there's some argument to say that it's like the legitimate argumency of it is plagiarism. Is how much are these AI art programs and AI chat programs stealing from other authors and then not crediting them? So the most valid argument against it, in my opinion, is the plagiarism argument.
No more or less than what Marvel does to its writers, probably.
At least Marvel pays them.
Not if you ask Bendis. Or I don't know.
I mean, I have enough books with Brian Michael Bendis on it that man, if he hasn't been getting paid, he is the world's worst contract reader.
Honestly, it was the first thing that came in my head. I genuinely don't know.
A couple of things that got me concerned about it is
Skynet.
Not Skynet. I don't think if it does, it's our own fault. We fucking made it, right?
Okay.
Vicky from iRobot.
But what I'm thinking more along the lines is it's going to
the mainframe in iRobot.
Oh.
Technology is progressing so fast that we as humans cannot keep up with it.
Well, that is true. But isn't most technology that we can't keep up with like iPhone type technology?
Well, that is true, but as soon as you start making stuff easier and easier and easier to do where you can't keep up with it, how do you get a human to compete with something that an AI robot can do in 15 seconds?
By the way, are those cool points or do we want golf points where we want less? I'm taking less. That was a genuine question.
So are we moving towards a Wall-E future where we're all just sitting in chairs with no bone density?
I think that's a pretty extreme.
I just wanted to make the connection.
I kind of don't though. If you get it where everything is automated, everything is done automatically by something else, and there is no human interaction in any of the parts of anything you need to survive. If food production is all automatic, if production is all automatic, if everything is automatic.
I agree, but
there is no jobs except for the few people at the top who can actually make this work.
I agree, but that's not in our kids' future. That's not in our grandkids' future. That's not even in our great-grandkids' future. That's if we don't become super late. That's all of us here in this room. People alive then won't even have half vague memories of us.
Well,
it's that far into the future.
That's depressing.
Well, we're gonna do something. We're gonna do something in like 10 years.
I'm already hearing stories about people are using ChatGPT to basically medical diagnose shit, use it for lawyer information, yada yada.
Yeah, basically and that guy and that lawyer got reamed by the judge and said you're a fucking idiot and you should be disbarred.
Yeah, so the problem with that right now is that ChatGPT is providing information, and it's not checking to see if the information is correct. Because there's been multiple things where someone has gone to GPT, typed in what is this, and gotten information from ChatGPT what was wrong.
It's pretty much the new Wikipedia.
Yeah. At least Wikipedia has some reliable information. You just can't trust it enough to cite it.
And my fears aren't as advanced as they was. I have calmed down a hair. Okay. Because I've heard stories to support the argument it's going to be fucking forever before this even thing. Even on the AI...
Calm down, another hair.
Even on the AI art side is apparently there's so much AR art out there now that the AI art community is cannibalizing itself by drawing from other AI arts, and it's getting more and more pictures not making sense because there's
too much inbreeding going on, basically.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You know what future I want to go to?
Futurama?
The Tex Avery future where everything's like a giant Rube Goldberg machine.
Oh yeah.
You hit the alarm clock and this ball starts rolling.
And there's always that one thing for the mother-in-law, but it's always like a torture device.
Yeah. The car one where it's like a 30-foot long car, and then there's a little bubble on the back, and it's for the mother-in-law.
For the mother-in-law, yeah. Okay.
Sorry, you asked us something we was actually adamant about, and now you're pushing us off it.
Yeah, we had a 2-hour argument at dinner one time about it.
It didn't help. I was drinking.
You were pretty drunk.
Okay. This next section is from...
Compared to ugly drunk?
Oh, my bad. Yeah, he was ugly drunk.
Oh, fuck you.
This next section is from a Ridge episode I was working on about Hollywood shit. So it was a stupid episode. So anyway, I bastardized.
Yeah, you wrote it.
So Hollywood Mandela effects. I love Mandela effects. Okay, do we all know what a Mandela effect is?
I do, but why don't you explain it to us for the listeners?
Okay, Tyler, go ahead.
Wake up, Mom. Huh?
What? Wake up, Mom.
It is
the listener.
The listener.
Yeah.
Adam's
mom.
I know what it is, but Tyler, you explain it to Daniel.
I know what it is. Cody, you should explain
it. Yeah, there you go, Cody.
Okay, basics of what I know is Mandela effect is when somebody remembers something so vividly that, oh no, that's what happened, but it's not the case at all.
That's actually what it actually is. Yes, but what's the tinfoil pot theory though?
That time is changing. And that it was that way, but I'm the only one that remembers it.
Yeah, alternate dimensions are crisscrossing and blah, blah.
And that time travel, something had rewrote and some minor shit. What
was the big one? The fucking Shazam movie.
The Berenstain Bears.
The Shazam movie. I think the big one.
I think the big one was Nelson Mandela.
Who?
The guy who the effect is named after?
I agree, it's after. What I'm saying, the biggest one I know of recent history that I still get fucking text about from one buddy of mine is what's-his-face was in the Shazam movie.
Oh, Sinbad.
Sinbad was in a movie called Shazam that everybody vividly remembers that he did.
Yeah, and...
No, Sinbad was in a movie called Shazam, but the real movie was Kazam starring Shaquille O'Neal. He's saying right.
Yeah, and then Sinbad.
I was thinking of a superhero for some reason.
Yeah, Sinbad as a April Fool's joke did a grainy shot of him shouting "I am Shazam the Genie" or something like that.
And that just fucking made it worse.
Yeah, because it absolutely looks like he grabbed it from the 90s.
It was funny, but it just made it worse.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Here we go. Tyler, what HBO show was Sarah Jessica Parker in?
Sex and the City?
Incorrect.
Sex and the City.
Sex
That's
and
what I
the
said.
City. You said Sex and the City.
I said Sex and the City.
What did you hear?
I heard Sex in the City.
Okay, well, I said Sex and the City.
You're fucking
I'm dead serious.
Cody.
And the only reason I know it is because my wife watches it.
Cody. Pikachu's tail. Is it black tip or all yellow?
All yellow.
That is correct. Daniel. Forrest Gump said what on the park bench with his box of chocolates?
Oh, I know the quote's wrong, but it's like, my mom always said that life was like a box of chocolates. You're never sure what you're going to get or something like that.
Correct. That is what everyone says.
Right.
And that's what even but it's life was like a box of chocolates.
Oh, okay. All right.
Tyler, Silence of the Lambs. What does Hannibal Lecter say when he sees Clarice Starling?
He doesn't say hello, Clarice, does he?
I don't know. You tell me.
Nah, he doesn't say that.
I'm not from
He
the
doesn't.
dimension.
Is it not? Hello, Clarice.
I'm not from
He
the.
doesn't say that. He said, "What's up, bitch?"
I'm not from that dimension either. Any other takers? This one blew my mind. He says good morning.
Oh.
He says good morning, Clarice?
Yeah, that fucking blew my mind. But you know where Hello Clarice comes from? Apparently it comes from Jim Carrey and the Cable Guy. When he puts that's where that.
Oh.
Okay. Who's that? Tyler. What's the name of the main bad gremlin in Gremlins?
Oh, fuck, I don't know.
Either one of you?
Gizmo was the good one, right?
Spike.
Okay.
Okay, you think it's Spike.
I don't remember what the bad one's name is.
He didn't have a name.
Megatron.
He did have a name. Is it Stripe or Spike?
Spike.
Stripe.
It's Stripe.
Yeah, because he was the one gremlin in the box that had like a blue stripe down his back.
I thought it was Spike too. That's Cody. What is Cruella's last name and how do you spell it?
I think it's Vill. Vill.
Tyler, what is Cruella's last name?
DeVille.
Okay, how do you spell it?
Devil.
Yeah, it's actually just Devil, but they pronounce it DeVille. I thought it was DeVille, like the Coupe DeVille.
Right.
I thought the D was like an old McDonald's.
It's a capital D, lowercase e, capital V.
There's no apostrophe in it? I thought it was DE apostrophe VIL.
I thought it was Cruella DeVille as in Coupe DeVille, but it's actually just Devil.
Do you spell DeVille differently, I guess? D-I...
Isn't Coupe DeVille DEVILL?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you.
That's how I always thought it.
Oh, interesting.
Well, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, well, but that's true. Okay. Anyway, that was taken from a different thing. Yep. This part that I took, which we're still going to do, but it didn't really work. This is from that one we were talking about actors' lives or whatever.
Oh yeah, the hard life of an actor.
So we're still going to do that, but this didn't work. This is stage names.
Oh, okay.
All right. So what beautiful centerfold went before she changed his or her name to Normal Jean Mortensen? Marilyn Monroe, that's correct. Wow. What pop star / actress God-given name is Stephanie Joanne Angelina Germani?
Lady Gaga.
How the fuck do you know all these?
Because this seems to be taken directly off a top 10 list. Like, you won't believe these actors' real names.
Keep going.
Not those two. Not those two. I knew those. Well, I knew Stephanie. I had to look up the rest of her names. All right. What sci-fi royalty actual name is Natalie Hirschlag? Hirschlag.
Is it Natalie Portman?
Fucking crap. How do you know that?
I'm just good guess.
Queen Padme.
Yeah.
I'll be damned.
It was Queen Amidala.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Because fuck you, I know shit.
Okay. I'm not going to give any hint on this one. Olivia Cockburn.
Olivia Wilde?
Yep, Olivia Wilde. You know where she got Wilde from?
She's related to Oscar Wilde.
She's not related. She did a play.
I mean, she definitely doesn't want to go by Cockburn.
I was going to say she gives me Cockburn. I'll give you a hint. If no one can guess this one, I'll give you a hint. I just said that one. Karen Johnson.
Karen Johnson.
Are you giving me a point because I said Cockburn?
Karen Gillan?
You don't know what the points mean.
They don't matter. Like in whose line?
Is it Karen Gillan?
Nope. I'll give you a hint. Here's one hint. Karen has nothing to do with it.
Oh. I couldn't tell you that.
Okay, if Karen has nothing to do with it, give us another clue to give us in the right track and ball.
Well, her name's Karen, but Karen isn't her stage name. She took her stage name because she farts a lot.
Jamie Lee Curtis?
She played a nun.
Jamie Lee Curtis? Whoopi Goldberg?
Whoopi Goldberg.
Okay.
She used to fart in the stage plays that she was, and people said she sounded like a whoopee cushion.
Oh, interesting.
This guy changed his name to a stage name because when he was doing a stand-up, he's not known. Actually, a lot of people don't even realize he's stand-up because he's an actor now. But when he was doing stand-up, he noticed that more people were coming to see females, so he changed his name to a more unisex name so people couldn't tell if it was male or female. Okay, his God-given name was Eric Marlon Bishop. Let's see, he's just now in the MCU canon. In like the last 2 years, his character is now officially in the MCU.
He was a comedian, or he is a comedian?
He started out as a stand-up comic. A lot of people don't realize he's a stand-up comic. Then he became a comedic actor. Now he's better known as an action star. His superhero character... Jamie Foxx.
Interesting.
Oh, okay. All right.
I knew it was someone from No Way Home, but I was walking through that one.
This person took her name from a Quentin Tarantino's Steve Buscemi's character in Reservoir Dogs, Alicia Beth Moore.
I've never seen Reservoir Dogs.
Wasn't it Mr. Pink? Was that Buscemi's? Pink?
Pink.
Okay.
This horrible stuntman took his stage name, Philip John Clapp.
He's a horrible stuntman?
Yeah, he even admits that he's a shitty stuntman, but he's made a career out of it.
I don't know anything about stuntmen.
He broke his dick.
Ron Jeremy? I got fucking nothing. I don't know stunt people.
They don't matter.
They do matter.
Oh, that's a bad joke.
Johnny Knoxville.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh,
okay,
yeah.
I don't consider him a stuntman.
Yeah, like, what was it? Action Park?
Action Park. That's not where he broke his dick, but...
Well, that's the one he got hurt the fucking most in.
Yeah, his eyeball came out of his...
No shit.
Yeah, like, he did this one where he's supposed to go through a wall on a barn, and he didn't hit the breakaway part right and actually hit the frame. So, like, broke his the
orbital socket?
Yeah.
The best Johnny Knoxville thing I've ever heard was when I think they were filming Jackass 2, and it's the riot thing.
Oh, and he's trying to convince me.
He's like, it's just loud. It's just loud. I mean, it's going to hurt a lot, but it's just loud.
It's just loud. This one I'm not going to give you any hint because I think everyone knows this. Marion Robert Morrison. Wow. John Wayne. Okay.
Oh.
Mark Vincent. Here's a hint. Dungeons and Dragons.
Huge
Dungeons and Dragons fan.
Oh, is it Vin Diesel?
Vin Diesel. Okay. This was taken from that Hollywood expose one I was trying to do. Hollywood Urban Legends. This isn't really a trivia part. Just I'm going to name some Hollywood Urban Legends. We can either talk about them or it's going to be a quick section. The Hanging Munchkin in Wizard of Oz.
It was revealed to eventually be a... what was it? It was eventually revealed to be a peacock in the background.
That's correct. Did any of you buy into it or anything?
I never bought into it, but I looked at it.
Yeah.
Like, for the longest time, my mom told me about, like, oh, there's a munchkin hanging in the background. Like, that's something, like, just historically, people have...
That's a good point. Did you guys know people that, like, die-heartedly bought into it?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
As weird and as dark as old Hollywood is, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
If it would have been true. But
we talked about a lot of this in my theater class.
Yeah, because they used actual asbestos as snow. They fucking gave... What's the Dorothy? Julie
Garland.
No, that don't sound right.
Yeah.
Judy Garland.
Yeah.
They gave her, like, narcotics to keep her skinny and awake and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, they
Fun
burnt
fact,
the
it was
fuck out of
supposed
the
to be
Wicked
Shirley
Witch.
Temple instead of Julie Garland.
Really?
Yeah, the original casting.
Shirley Temple, like, just died, too. That was wild. Like last year or the year before.
She's been dead for years.
Oh, she died the same day Rowan Atkinson died.
Mandela effect.
Okay, Tyler, you can talk about this one. The Superman curse.
George Reeves, where he shot himself, or someone killed him.
Well, there's more than that.
And then Christopher Reeves got paralyzed.
I mean, you can even go now, like today, Henry Cavill can't seem to he's into DC. He's out of DC. He's Superman. He's not Superman. He's got kicked out of The Witcher. He was supposed to be the new James Bond. Now he's not the new James Bond. There was the guy.
Now, that's Hollywood on Henry Cavill part. Like I think he broke the mold though, right?
Well, no, Dean Cain. Nothing happened besides him becoming like a right-wing extremist.
He kind of fell out. Same thing for Brandon Routh. Same thing for Tom Welling.
But Brandon,
nothing happened with Tom.
I mean, they all.
They sort of
basically,
fell
your only two is George Reeves and Christopher Reeves.
Yeah,
and then the other ones kind of just fell into obscurity. I mean, they've done. I mean, Dean Cain did Ripley's Believe It or Not forever.
Well, supposedly there was the guy who did the serials before George Reeves, but if you actually look into
Allen?
Yeah, like if you look into it, he had a long career. He just didn't have like the Tom Cruise career. No, it's just I just mentioned it because people know a lot of it. It was just people finding patterns when they want.
Hollywoodland is a good movie about that.
Okay.
Ben Affleck is Superman.
Yeah.
Really?
He fought himself too. It's weird as Batman. Here's another one that I know Tyler knows, but you guys may know. The Ghost and 3 Men and a Baby.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. That was a cardboard standee that someone had left in a shower curtain somewhere.
The curtain on the balcony.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Did you know anyone that?
I heard that rumor, but I didn't think it was real.
I remember watching a conspiracy theory video about that on E-Bomb's World way back in the day.
E-Bomb being...
E-Bomb was basically like YouTube BuzzFeed before YouTube and BuzzFeed became things.
Oh, okay.
It was just a bunch of like people posting clips and flash games and random shit. So there was one of them that was like, did you know these morbid things? And one of them was like the Ghost and 3 Men and a Baby. They talked about the one album, Roller Coaster of Love album, where you can hear the
the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
No, not the Chili Peppers. It's the Roller Coaster of Love, and in the Roller Coaster of Love song on that album, you can hear someone getting murdered in the background. And then the one where the lady poured the honey. I think it was a Warrant album where she poured honey on herself, and like it reacted to something, and she got terrible burns.
They do the John is Dead Beatles thing.
Yeah, they talk about John is Dead.
I buried Paul.
Or Paul. The Abbey Road. If you play Abbey Road backwards, it's Paul is dead. That's why he's not wearing shoes in the album cover.
And then supposedly the Lynyrd Skynyrd vinyl for Street Fighter, there's like fire on it, and the flames come around to all the people in the band, but it only touches the ones that died.
I mean, while it does the Dark Side of the Moon syncing up with the Wizard of Oz,
that works.
No, that works. But like people are like they did that on purpose.
Explain that one to me. I don't even get it.
That is a hell of a coincidence.
If you start the album Dark Side of the Moon at like the second logo for the Wizard of Oz,
you have to push play exactly when the lion roars.
It'll sync up like the character's movements.
So you're telling me when they're dancing around the Yellow Brick Road, there's a happy song playing?
Not a happy song, but one that fits. Like when Dorothy...
Is it Money on that album?
Yes.
So where does that go?
That is as soon as Dorothy wakes up. So like, because I've done this, but the moment that Dorothy wakes up in Oz, it starts with the cash register and like the money ripping, and then the moment she opens the doors when money really kicks off, and it syncs up so beautifully. It's amazing.
Isn't Another Brick in the Wall on that?
Yes, and I don't remember where that one was at.
Okay.
I think that one was...
I know it syncs up, but it's people saying that they did it on purpose, and they're like, no, I mean, it
I don't know if like those movies were released to the public in that form back then. I think that was still like a theater release sort of thing.
But that's correct. But Wizard of Oz played like every year on TV. It was one of the first movies that they put on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is such a fun experience, and there's definitely some parts where it doesn't match up, like the music suddenly changes and the scenes, like it doesn't really match up, but where it hits real well, and for it to be an accident, it is a hell of an accident, and I don't want to put on the tinfoil hat and say it was on purpose, but there has to be some like art creation theory on why it works, because they're following the same meter progression or something. It has to have some sort of logic reason.
Just relate. Did you ever see the clips where it's the Netflix Matilda music video?
Yes.
And it syncs up with
like
Rob Zombie.
Yes, it's
and
so
like it
good.
syncs up like perfectly.
I honestly thought I was fooled because I half-assed paid attention. I'm like, they fucking made a musical of Matilda with Rob Zombie. I may watch
it.
it.
Dracula, yes.
Like the caption, like that is the best. Like not like making like. I'm not gonna lie, the new Matilda kind of slaps.
Yeah, the one I saw was Matilda goes hard. So good.
This one kind of made me cry because I thought it was proven to be true and I really liked it. But when they were doing the 4K upgrade re-release, they were able to prove it wrong. But the extra in Teen Wolf that has his penis pulled out, do you guys know that one?
Yeah.
Turns out that not only is it not a penis, it's not even a male. Like they found the wider frame shot. It's just a female, and there's not.
So she's got her vag out?
No. They can't. There is.
Awfully vulgar for Cody.
So, for some reason, vag just sounds way worse than vagina.
It does, right?
I
like how you're giving yourself points for it.
But they can't. There is a white spot in her blue jeans, but they can't because of they restored it to the best they could. If you go on the internet, you can see it. There is a white patch where there's supposed to be denim. They can't tell if like the girl's pants literally just can't, because especially Cody, sometimes pants are unzipped, especially Cody. People just leave their pants unzipped, especially Cody. Or if
sometimes they lose by 1 point, especially
Cody.
Or
this is almost better than the no offense Cody guy.
No offense, Cody. Or if it's just
hold on, no offense, especially Cody.
Or it could just be faded jeans. We think of that.
Yeah,
it could be acid wash.
That's jeans, they can't tell. So
or a
vag or a really pale vag. I was really bummed out because
vag needs some sun.
Yeah, that's back when shaving became regular, right?
No. Shaving. That was like the mid '90s, man.
Yep. No, you were Wilderness Explorer world in the '80s.
Yeah. So I was bummed out. Like I thought for sure that was proven that was a dick, but I was bummed out.
I first learned of that rumor watching Family Guy.
No, I heard it.
Like I'm not saying that's the first place it showed up. I'm saying that's how
I love the series.
Yeah, I think it was. Okay.
So did you talk about the Disney ones in there?
I didn't because they're well known, but go ahead.
Oh well, there's the two ones that really stand out. in Little Mermaid, the penis on the priest
castle.
Yeah.
Now was that?
It's not the castle; it's the priest. When they're marrying.
The castle too.
Yeah, there's definitely a dick in the castle. But
King Trident.
The priest. Looks like he has an erection at some point.
Yeah. Didn't they say it was like his knee or something?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like him, like shifting his weight.
Now is that in the live action movie?
I haven't seen the live action movie with Halle Berry.
If they put that in there, I'm definitely watching the movie.
Yeah, the other one is the Lion King sex.
Now say SFX.
Yeah, it says SFX for the special effects team.
Any other Disney ones?
The Rescuers.
Now that one was
true. That one
was true. Yeah.
At least as far as I know, it is.
Yeah. Any other ones before we move on to the next?
Nothing I can really think of.
Okay, so the next, that one went better than I thought. All right.
A fun one.
This one.
Just not said anything, just sat here and be like,
yep.
Okay.
This one was pulled out of the actor one because
pulled out of an actor.
It pulled out of an actor's butt.
Why are we talking
That's
about
what happened last time.
Pulled out of an actor's vag.
It's called Almost Casted.
Oh, okay.
Almost Casted.
Did you know Robin Williams was almost a Doctor Who?
Really?
Yeah.
I thought they had to be British.
Nope. He was offered Doctor Who, and he turned it down because of dementia. And you would know that if you listen to Dead Air, especially one of the Doctor Who episodes you can find on our YouTube channel.
I don't listen to that crap. Okay. Anyway, I don't know, because it's not really fair that we can, because anything could be good, but if we just want to throw down what we think would happen, but Almost Casted, it was going to be in our acting one, actors.
The Hard Life of an Actor.
Thank you, I can never remember that. Okay,
right.
so...
That's my idea. It's fine.
So Emily, now I only included the ones that were genuinely almost casted, because every time they do like a Batman, they see everybody.
Yeah.
These are ones that are like were casted, but
so Nicolas Cage as Superman.
Yeah, stuff like that, or the movie gets canceled, or there's a contract dispute or whatever. So I'm not talking about movies where they fucking look at everybody. Okay. All right.
So you're talking about so Mila Kunis as Ben Grimm. Would you have put that on the list?
I didn't know she was looked at it.
She was almost confirmed, and then she backed out, and they changed it to a male actor.
Really? Mm-hmm. For which one?
The new Fantastic Four coming up. She was almost Thing She was very close to being Thing.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Like a Beauty and the Beast type theme.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, just like Adam Driver is no longer Reed Richards.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Who's Reed Richards?
I would have to look up his name. It was someone I didn't recognize.
Margot Robbie still Sue Storm?
I believe so.
Do you remember the old Fantastic Four cartoon where it was the Thing? He had the
robot
Thing ring, do your thing.
Oh.
That's how he turned into the Thing. It was like some shaggy looking motherfucker.
Yeah, I do remember that.
That was back in old Marvel
animation. Is that when they had the robot?
That was the very first.
I don't remember that one.
No, that was the second Fantastic Four series.
Oh, okay.
The very first one, it was the Thing ring, and then the second one, Human Torch, was too adult, so they cut him for Robbie the Robot.
I heard it was because they didn't want kids lighting themselves on fire.
Basically, yeah.
Was the second one where, in the opening credits, they were run? There's a scene where they're running away from a giant Galactus that's trying to catch them. That's the only thing that's coming to mind right now is during the opening.
No,
or
we're
the end
not
credits.
from the dimension that you're from. Okay, so Emily,
I can't remember. I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember.
Cody's from my dimension, so fuck you.
Emily Blunt as Black Widow.
I would have watched that. I like Emily Blunt.
See, I think that would have been fine.
No, she's got the physicality,
well, no,
especially.
We're saying this because we've seen Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow.
But Emily Blunt, I think, would have brought too much of a motherly love to it. I think Scarlett Johansson plays her I'll fucking cut your throat and then go have a coffee and not give it two shits about it.
No, don't get me wrong. I would have preferred Scarlett Johansson, but I would not have not watched it because of Emily Blunt.
In my dimension, Emily Blunt was a wonderful Black Widow.
Now could she have pulled the red curly hair off?
I don't think so. But Scarlett Johansson should have kept her hair from Iron Man 2.
All right, no, her best hair, Infinity War.
No.
Fucking love that blonde.
No. Yeah. That was horrible.
And this is completely sexist, but Scarlett Johansson has way better curves. This one.
How is it sexist?
It's misogynistic.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. This one blew my mind, but apparently it was true. I had to look it up because I thought it was not jailbait, clickbait. Matthew McConaughey as Jack in Titanic. That I don't think.
What? Well, we're talking about 30 years ago, Matthew McConaughey?
Well, no, we're talking like rom-com Matthew. He hadn't had the McConaissance.
I want you to live on, Rose. All right.
Yeah.
I want you to draw me like one of your French girls. All right.
Well, I can still see even back then because that was back in Days Confused era. He still looked.
It was a little bit past that.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say.
1997.
It was in that area.
99, wasn't it?
97, I believe.
Yeah, so even in Days Confused, that's his first role, right? He still looks. He doesn't look as young as Jack does, even back then. So I can imagine he got cut because they wanted a younger actor, right?
I didn't.
Bless you.
I didn't just sneeze all over Daniel's shit.
Yeah, sorry, he'll be all right.
That's actually Cody's and Connor's stuff.
They don't listen to the podcast.
Also my stuff.
Okay, this one was kind of cool.
Have you seen the film theory about Titanic?
Where Jack's a time traveler?
Yeah. By making sure that Rose doesn't kill herself, the Titanic doesn't turn around thereby miss the icebergs, and then that leads the U.S. like going into World War I sooner.
See, I would buy that if Matthew McConaughey was in the movie, because it'd be his character from Interstellar that goes back when he enters the.
Well, it makes sense because it's a James Cameron movie.
That's true. Okay, this is kind of cool.
O.J. Simpson as the Terminator.
That one. Okay, well, that one's not next, but yeah, let's talk about it. It's on here. O.J. Simpson as the Terminator.
He didn't look like he would kill somebody.
Well, that was way before the conviction, right?
That's actually
the accusation.
That's actually why he didn't get the part, because James Cameron didn't think he would be able to. He didn't look like he would kill somebody.
I do remember that, yeah, because he was like, we need someone who would really look like a killer.
Yeah.
You think that's why he did it, to get his acting career wrapped up?
But
that would be a funny reason.
Like, kind of going back to getting publicity for the movie. Like, yeah, we'll cast him. He's a real killer.
Well, hopefully, it was a hell of a publicity stunt. I mean,
hopefully he didn't write a book saying "If I Did It."
Yeah. Tiffany Amber Thiessen was almost. It didn't say which character.
Who is Tiffany Amber Thiessen? I need more context.
Kelly Kapowski from Saved by the Bell.
So hot.
She was. It didn't say what character, but she was almost in Friends.
She probably would have been Monica.
Really?
Well, what color?
No, I think she'd be more of a
Phoebe?
Rachel.
No, she wouldn't be a Phoebe.
No, she wouldn't be a Phoebe.
No, she's a Rachel.
I could see that, I guess.
Would you have thought? Because wasn't Friends what it was? Because there was basically nobody, except Courtney Cox had done Dancing in the Dark, or no?
Yeah.
Was it Dancing in the Dark and He-Man? I mean, that was it, right?
I think the only one that had any rep was Matthew Perry, wasn't it?
Jennifer Aniston.
It was pretty new for him.
She was famous because of her dad.
I thought he had a couple roles before Friends.
Yeah, I think.
Well, I mean, yeah, they all had. There wasn't. None of them was their first gig, but for the most part, they didn't have any real fame. It would be like, oh, so and so, and you'd be like, who?
Yeah, Matthew Perry did some sort of Fox show about. In the future, they worked like the TSA future. They were in the but it was spaceships instead of airplanes. It lasted like 2 episodes.
See, the only person from that cast that I knew before Friends was Lisa Kudrow.
From
because she's in Mad About You.
Mad About You. She plays Phoebe's sister, twin sister.
Ursula.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and then they crossed over a couple times.
Yeah.
And this one, apparently, for the longest time until the Fantastic Four came up, people wanted to see it. John Krasinski as Captain America.
As Cap?
He said in interviews that he almost got it, but he thinks the reason why he didn't get it because when he was walking out, he ran into
Evans?
No, the dude who played Thor.
Oh, Chris Hemsworth.
And he's like, that motherfucker's a superhero because he was like huge, and he's like, and he wasn't in his office shape because he had done 13 hours, but he wasn't. And he's like, now that motherfucker looks like a superhero. So he's like, I'm not going to get this, and he obviously didn't get it. But
no, because he didn't visualize it in his mind.
I always wanted Jensen Ackles to be Cap. I thought he would have a
he
good
kind
jaw
of
for Cap.
He kind of played him, right?
Soldier Boy.
Yeah,
kind of. But
I mean, seeing him in the Soldier Boy outfit made me go, I really wanted you to be Cap.
Or I would have. If they didn't do that, I would rather have him as U.S. soldier.
He would have been good to U.S. soldier. There's, I remember one of the rumor sites was that he was in talks for Wolverine before Hugh Jackman reprised.
Krasinski?
No, Jensen Ackles.
Oh, Jensen Ackles.
Yeah.
I think Hugh Jackman's in it for Deadpool 3 because Ryan will not shut up about it.
I mean, he's definitely doing that, and they show him in the yellow and black costume on set.
I thought that was
actually him in the suit, or
is that a real picture, or is that a fan thing?
I thought it was real because they showed that and Ryan Reynolds in the new Deadpool suit. Because the new Deadpool suit is much brighter red, and it has some copper tones, which is kind of weird.
Jennifer Garner's coming back for Deadpool 3?
As Elektra, supposedly.
Yeah,
I want them to do a height-accurate Wolverine, where he's just like 5'2".
Well, that's why people were such on board with...
That's really loud, by the way, Cody.
Sorry.
Michael
Harry
Cera.
Potter.
Daniel
Radcliffe. That's why people were on board with Daniel Radcliffe.
But I don't think he wants to be tied to a character.
He's done some other stuff. Like, he's not just Harry Potter anymore. Like, the only reason I think he didn't get more traction is because apparently he doesn't want to do a role for 7 years again like he was for every
I think he's one of those actors who's just like, you know what? I probably got enough money. I'm just gonna pick and choose.
Yeah, I think he just wants to be naked on the theater stage.
Whatever I want to fucking do. Like, he does weird fucking movies, like that one with Paul Dano, where he's like a farting corpse.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Swiss Army Man.
That like Knives Akimbo, where like he
Guns
wakes up with like
where
he's got like guns attached to his hands.
Yeah. He's like in a series now of Steve Buscemi.
Miracle Workers.
Yes, yeah, and apparently each season's a different world. They're not continuous.
I watched season 1. Season 1 was good. I didn't like the jumping back and forth.
My issue with Radcliffe being Wolverine is I don't think he's stocky enough. Like, Wolverine should be broad-shouldered and stock, because, I mean, he should look like
I know it's been said, but Tom Hardy, if he's a little bit shorter, would be the stockiness of Wolverine. Speaking of Wolverine, the guy who was originally casted for Mission Impossible 2 filming went too long, Dougray Scott. He actually got the part. He was Wolverine until Mission Impossible 2 took too long to film. No?
I don't know who that is.
We don't know who he is because he wasn't Wolverine.
He was the guy in Hitman, the Timothy Oliphant version. He was the Interpol. He was the Interpol agent.
Never seen it.
Okay.
Oh, he would have been fine. He kind of has that look of Wolverine, other than he's a little old.
Tyler, this goes to you because I don't know how I feel about it. Tom Selleck is Indiana Jones. A lot of people auditioned, but apparently Tom Selleck legitimately got it, but didn't want to do it.
I could see that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't hate it.
But I could see it. I love the romanticism of Harrison Ford getting it, though.
There's something about Harrison Ford who plays the swarmy he's a fucking a horrible person, but he's got that charm.
Yeah.
He's a Have you not seen Raiders? He fucking shoots people point blank and then goes and drinks.
He had food poisoning that day.
I love it all the same.
But no, not the sword fighter. I'm talking about there's a driver coming in the same action sequence. There's a driver that comes driving by in a Jeep and he just goes and shoots that guy point blank, blows his brains out, and goes on.
Yeah, he's cold-blooded.
Yeah, he's a cold-blooded motherfucker.
Well, he was having a bad time. But what would you do if you deal with Nazis all the fucking time?
This is my point.
Nazis, cultists.
Indiana Jones.
This is what Adam would do.
Join.
Yeah, him and his white supremacy killer over there.
And then we'd head over to Asia. What I'm saying is, Indiana Jones is a horrible, shitty person, but because of Harrison Ford, we fucking love him. I don't think Tom Selleck could pull that swarminess off.
I don't think so. I don't think he would be nearly as loved as Harrison Ford.
Like, I think he's got the gruff bandit, smoking the bandit type thing going on. I don't see him as an archaeologist. Harrison Ford, I can see as an archaeologist. I can't see that as Tom Selleck as that.
But can you see him as an archaeologist because he played the archaeologist?
I don't think...
Like, if you're watching Harrison Ford in American Graffiti where he's just sitting in a car, can you look at him and be like, some bitch is a whip-cracking archaeologist?
Can you see anyone as a whip-cracking archaeologist?
Yeah, Harrison Ford.
Speaking of Harrison Ford, he was originally Sam Neill's character in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Wow.
What do you guys think of that? Yes? No?
That makes sense. Dr. Alan Grant.
Yeah, thank you.
Alan.
That makes sense because...
I could have done that.
Like, because I think you told us... Okay, I heard somewhere in the books, Dr. Alan Grant is more of an Indiana Jones type character, not the professor nerdy guy. He's actually... Sam Neill's portrayal is like, oh, I can't stand kids. But in the book, Dr. Alan Grant, like, oh, I'm going to save the kids.
But see, that's the thing, though. Alan Grant doesn't like... Or Sam Neill's Alan Grant doesn't like kids. But he ends up, saving them. If it was Harrison Ford, he goes, I don't like kids. I would be like, that motherfucker's going to feed those kids to the dinosaurs.
He'd be running around and be like, give me back my wife.
Yeah.
The stick joke would not have gone over nearly as well, I don't think, with Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
I don't think he could have done the electric fence thing.
Like, I just don't feel like that's a joke that Harrison Ford could have pulled off.
And the raptor thing at the beginning would have been way more menacing.
Oh yeah,
it would have been.
He probably would have
menacing.
actually killed the kid.
Oh
And, like,
God!
Yeah.
Where he's talking about the raptor claw, and he would cut you here to here. Like, oh, that gives me chills thinking of Harrison Ford saying that line.
That giant turkey you're talking about. That giant turkey you're talking about.
This one blew my mind. I haven't seen the movie in a while, but I'm fairly certain we've all seen it. But apparently the movie was going to be a little bit different when Robert De Niro was supposed to be Josh in Big. He was supposed to be Tom Hanks' character in Big. Supposedly it had more of a horror movie slant. Not a true horror movie, but more of a, you know how...
You playing that piano?
Yeah. Hey! But, like, that kind of blows my... I really don't think that will...
So it'd be more of like...
no way.
It'd be more of like, how am I supposed to survive? I don't know how to act like an adult. Instead of Tom Hanks, I'm magically making it through life because I'm an adult with the mind of a kid, and I just happen to walk into a toy store.
Becomes an adult and just joins the mob.
I get like that blows my mind.
Hold on. So it's been a long time since I've seen Big. Doesn't he nail one of the people he works with?
Yeah,
that's a little awkward, isn't it?
And then she says that for him to look her up
when he gets older.
Yeah,
but he's only like 13,
he's
so
it's
12.
It's the
12.
same thing as Blank Check.
How old was the chick then? The chick would have been like what? Let's just say 25.
Gotta be easy in the 20s, yeah.
Let's do 30s because I can't do math. Let's do 30.
And she's
Okay.
So by the time he's how old was he?
Let's just say he was 13. I don't know how old he was.
So by the time he's 20, that's 7 years. She would be 30. Nah, that wouldn't work. That'd be bad.
Why not?
Gravity and sagginess, wrinkles.
Okay, you're being a little bit...
No, wait a minute
He
here.
was 12.
You're being a little bit ageist here.
So first off,
I know.
6 years and 36. You're still a perfectly reasonable and attractive person
Hey,
at 36 who's
motherfucker.
more than welcome to date someone in their 20s.
Motherfucker, I'm 40. Don't worry about it. All right.
Okay, hold on. So, what the movie came out in 1988. So let's see. We said how long we're gonna age him up to?
He's got to hit 18 to be legal.
Okay, so 1988 plus 6 is what year, Cody?
94.
So,
Sorry.
So let's look up Elizabeth
It's
Perkins
fine,
in 1994. So this... Oh, she played Wilma in the Flintstones.
Ooh.
Oh, she's good looking.
So he'd be tapping that, and
I agree.
so I mean,
Yeah.
I like that hair.
Sign me up.
so yeah, not too bad.
This one, I honestly, I want to hear y'all's opinion because I don't think it would have worked at all. Madonna as Catwoman in Batman Returns.
Oh, God, that'd be terrible.
Like,
That'd be
that's
absolutely
giving
terrible.
me Pamela Anderson vibes.
Like Barbar?
Like in fucking Skyscraper. Am I thinking of the wrong person?
You are thinking of the wrong
Yeah,
person.
it was...
Rowan Atkinson.
Anna Nicole Smith.
Anna Nicole
Smith.
Smith. That's giving me Anna Nicole Smith vibes.
I think I made the same mistake a few weeks back.
You're gonna think of Pam Anderson as a superhero. It's Stripperella.
Barbar.
Stan Lee's Stripperella.
Yeah.
Wait, didn't Anna
Spike
Nicole Smith
after
voice
MXC.
Stripperella?
Yep.
No, Pamela Anderson voiced Stripperella.
the fuck's wrong with me?
Anna Nicole Smith, I believe, was dead by the time Stripperella came out, right?
Oh, no. She died when I had the store.
Right. Okay. Do you have
Or
something to do with it?
Sorry, never mind. No, that was Amy Winehouse. That died on the store. Never mind.
How the fuck did you make that leap?
Because someone
Why?
told me a awful joke and it stuck with me, and I just
okay.
translated Anna Nicole Smith.
What?
'cause-
Wait. Did you guys just
2007 is when Anna Nicole Smith
wait?
died.
So did you guys just forget misinterpreted when somebody died?
What's that?
Did you guys just misinterpret when somebody died on accident?
I
You
did.
had
I
false information?
confused two dead people from my memory.
You were wrong.
And,
Stripperella came out in 2003.
Okay.
and not legitimately think someone who died who is still active and alive in Hollywood.
One, not going to say active. Like, he's alive. I don't think he's active.
Look
I
up
saw
Rowan
a-
Atkinson on
I
internet.
looked at a clip of him on a talk show not long ago.
Yeah.
On a
It's not my fault fake news got me. It gets a lot of people.
He's got a series on Netflix, 2022, Man vs. Bee.
Sounds like he's still active, Cody.
He had a Mr. Bean series from 2018 to 2020.
Is that the animated series?
No, but that ran from 2002 to 2019. Johnny English came out in 2018.
Just give it up, dude. You're not gonna live it down. Don't worry, I'll say something stupid here in a little bit, probably. Okay, so most. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Do you want me to keep going?
No.
Okay. Right.
So infamously, I think everyone knows this, but apparently Morpheus was going to be Sean Connery and Will Smith was going to be Neo.
That would have been all right. I would have watched that.
No.
But we would have to recast Morpheus because Sean Connery would do one because he got burnt so bad by doing James Bond. I don't think he'd want to do a franchise anymore.
No, like I wouldn't like Will Smith as Neo, like because that is just Will Smith.
Because he's black.
No, because Will Smith doesn't play characters; he plays Will Smith.
He would have slapped the shit out of Agent Smith.
That is true.
Yeah, he would have slapped the shit out of him. Yeah,
you take my name out of your mouth.
Welcome to the Matrix, bitch.
Yeah, because I'll give him credit. He's upped his repertoire since then. He does not play Will Smith as often, but back then he played Will Smith.
And that's fair. That Will Smith usually has the same character he plays with very little variations. Winter's Tale, I think, has the best portrayal where you can see the most acting out of Will Smith, though. But that was the same criticism that Keanu Reeves had. That when he got cast, it was, you cannot act, you play the same.
Yeah, but he did Johnny Mnemonic before that, right?
Johnny Mnemonic.
Well, that was fantastic.
I don't think it helped advertising-wise because he was thought as like a vacant idiot stoner dude.
Right, because of Bill and Ted.
When at the end of the trailer, he goes, "Whoa!" That
Yeah.
probably did not help that movie. Okay, there was one. We're getting pretty long in the tooth, so I'm trying to keep everything. So misunderstood flicks, I'll save for another random episode. I want to do this one because fucking Daniel's gonna love this.
Okay.
This is his favorite topic of all time.
Oh boy, what are we?
Film theories.
Okay, all right. Why would I hate
I want to see if Daniel reaches across the table and punches me in the face.
Just do it, please.
Okay.
I will for any reason, really.
Well, what are we gonna do one day when he
Not
actually
with your
fucking
fist.
slaps the shit out of him or something? Like, are we gonna just be in silence? Like,
No,
I'm gonna be like, do it again.
Keep my franchise out your fucking mouth.
He really likes Asian people for some reason. Film theories. This one I've never heard of, and I fucking love.
Do we need a copyright to say that now?
Yes.
Maybe.
Tyler, I think you'll love this one too.
Okay.
Tremors and Footloose take place in the same town. Dancing was not banned due to whatever. It was dancing was banned due to causing graboid.
I love that.
That's fucking awesome.
I love that.
I love this theory.
my god, that's
a
beautiful. That's obviously not fucking true, but it is such a fucking beautiful idea.
That is amazing. I would watch that connected universe.
That is so fantastic. I love that too. That's great.
This is not the response I was expecting out of Daniel.
Give it time.
That's amazing. Give us a shitty one now.
I love things like that.
This one isn't shitty. This one I think is actually true. I do believe the writers actually came out and said it's true. But Sean Connery's character in The Rock is James Bond.
I think I don't know if they've said it, but
they've said the writers came out and said because Sean Connery plays an imprisoned MI6 agent, and they said it was originally supposed to be a James Bond movie because Pierce Brosnan's movies hadn't come out yet or were dying, and they wouldn't. The people who own the Broccoli's that own Bond would not allow them to say that, but supposedly that's the idea.
I kind of like that idea.
I kind of just assumed that's the character he was supposed to be playing.
Yeah, like I seem to remember there was more evidence that really substantiated that idea. Like the more that they talked about it, they could link it back to different James Bond movies.
James.
I'm waiting to be impressed. Wow, I read.
Was that supposed to be Sean Connery?
Yeah,
that was fucking terrible.
Normally, his Sean Connery sounds like a cartoon Dracula.
This one, this is another one that I've never heard before, but I fucking love. It's not as funny as the Tremors one, but it's fucking out there. The Joker from The Dark Knight is Detective Mills from Seven. So Brad Pitt is a cop. That's why Joker is so good at interrogation and everything. So when he goes, it's not part of the plan because they were supposed to they took John Doe out there, and it was all part of the plan. And then John Doe was able to usurp the plan and had his wife's head in the box. That's.
You ever seen that where someone picks apart Seven, where they're like, so John Doe walks into the police station in a bloody shirt. He got out of a taxi, so that means he was sitting in a taxi cab, covered in blood, and nobody said anything.
Yeah, but have you seen? They don't give a fuck. Just give me your money and get the fuck out.
How many taxi cabs have you ever been in your life?
In Chicago, speaking of the Dark Knight, both in Chicago.
Dark Knight takes place in Gotham.
I know, but it was filmed in Chicago. I know it's not true, but I think that's kind of cool.
That's interesting.
It's an interesting idea. I think it could have been like better supported if Brad Pitt's character got any sort of facial scar.
I mean, I hear...
This is the Daniel I expected.
The one I hear the most is that
it's fine,
the Joker is he's an Iraqi war vet, and that's why he's...
But that's probably true, though, and that's not fun.
I don't think it's supposed to be fun.
I just said
Cody,
that's the
don't
one
make
I
me
heard
reach
more.
over this table.
Go to the next one.
You know what? Bring it on.
This one, I always thought was true because the original movie's fucking creepy. Willy Wonka was purposely offing kids. There was no accidents. Yep. The proof is there was no seat for Augustus Gloop aboard the boat.
Every time it gets... So, like, the same thing with the Wonka wash. There's no extra seats for anybody else.
Yeah.
There's no extra glasses in the next room. Yeah.
He's like a psychopath. And plus, Gene Wilder plays it like
it's a psychopath, and it's not like he's offing kids. Like, it might be implied, but I think it's more of a testing their morals with by saying what sins they would commit.
That's why supposedly in Tim Burton's one, it has the scene where after they go up in the elevator, they're going around the factory. You see all the kids
walk out,
leave the building.
We've talked a lot about penises on today's episode. We're gonna talk about another one.
Talked a lot about vages.
Even
though
Tarzan was raised by naked animals in Tarzan, he still wears a loincloth. Why? He's ashamed of his massive penis. Think about it. Animals have...
If you have a massive penis, you're not going to be able to hide it beneath a loincloth.
Sure you can.
But he, comparatively...
It's not wrapped around his waist. He's not like doing like a Super Saiyan tail.
Comparatively to all the other animals. So, like, he's ashamed. Like, he wants to be the animals. That's why he wears a loincloth.
I think there's a more practical, like, explanation for that one.
See, this is the Daniel I thought
So, I mean, again, that one's fine, but it's weak. Because animals... they don't just walk around with their dicks out all the time.
Some of them do.
No, not really. They have the sheaths that protect them.
A lot of animals do, but gorillas don't. That's just out in the open.
I don't believe so.
It's out in the open.
Now we're going to look at gorilla dicks.
I'm going to have the weirdest search history ever.
Okay, while they're Googling gorilla penises, Cody, what do you think of this? Kevin from Home Alone grows up to be Jigsaw from the Saw movies.
We
talked about this before, I think. Like, it's kind of cool and whatnot, but I don't believe that's the case.
Okay.
Like, I think it's just an engineer who's got way too much time on his hand.
Oh, what do you think about this one? The two guys from...
the reason why it's not such a big deal is because gorilla penises are very small.
Didn't say anything about gorillas having a penis sheath.
Okay.
And I didn't want to keep going.
Well, there is. I actually want to go back to that theory because I have a theory about that.
I don't want the FBI.
Kevin from Home Alone or penis?
The Tarzan thing.
Okay, go ahead.
I want Cody to say penis.
Like, the obvious answer is for TV modesty, right? The unobvious, the more, if you think about it, is...
Actually, this one was based off the Disney Tarzan, so probably it was a Disney movie.
Yeah, so modesty.
Right.
My theory is it's to not make it that much of a visible target because, as I've learned to know, that apes and gorillas, chimpanzees, and whatnot are very vengeful, and they will just straight up, okay, I'm taking what's precious to you, so he'd probably get his dick ripped off. He had it out in the open all the time.
Okay.
Just like straight off, ripped off.
Well, that, and if you're swinging around, you land funny and get a tree branch shoved right up your dick.
I think it's a hygiene thing.
You don't think he's circumcised?
Well, I mean, it certainly could be, but I think if you don't have it covered, then like you could get dirt and gunk all up in there.
Like, yeah, and gorillas have hair in that area anyway, so that sort of keeps it covered.
Well, he's not manscaping down there.
How do you know?
Oh, I know. I've seen the Triple X parody.
It's called King of the Jungle for a reason.
All right. What do you got? Let me know if you find anything. All right.
Are you still looking at gorilla penises?
Yes.
Okay, the 2 guys from the Blair Witch actually planned to take Heather out there and just murder her.
I kind of, after watching that, getting older, I kind of just assumed that's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what I went.
Yeah,
for.
why do 1 girl and 2 guys go camping together?
Well, it was
Like, you got the dirty thing.
There's a special hug.
Devil's Threesome.
because it was a film project. Josh was the audio engineer and Heather was the host, and I can't remember the other guy, but he was the one with the camera.
Makes sense.
Did you ever see the Scooby-Doo ripoff of that?
Yes. Okay, this is the last one. This one's kind of cool. The shipwreck survivors on Gilligan's Island are trapped in hell, prevented from leaving the island by the devil.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be purgatory in each one of them.
A.K.A. Gilligan.
Gilligan's the devil?
Gilligan's
Makes
the
sense.
devil.
He's the one always causing trouble for the rest of them, and they're supposed to represent the 7 deadly sins, right?
I love Gilligan's
That's all
Island.
it
I
literally
could.
said.
Like, yeah, because the rich couple are supposed to represent greed. The captain's supposed to represent pride. I think the doctor, well, it might be the scientist supposed to represent pride.
Professor.
I think the ship captain is wrath. Like, and it's supposed to be like they're on this island for a reason. The reason they can't ever seem to fucking get off of it is because they're supposed to be tormented by their tormentor, Gilligan.
Yeah,
And
he's the devil.
You're telling me that the professor
Lust, pride.
Ginger would be lust?
Yeah, Ginger, and then Marianne would be envy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Marianne was better looking than Ginger.
Well, I agree, but she never thought so. She always wanted Ginger's looks.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because
So
she's
wait,
also
so is there 7?
yeah.
I
'Cause
think if you split up the Howells, there's 6, not counting Gilligan. Because there's Skipper, the 2 Thurston Howell and his wife,
Right.
Professor Ginger, Mary Ann Gilligan.
but if you split up the rich couple,
Right, if you split up the rich couple, the girl could be Sloth. And then the male could be Greed.
Yeah, there
yeah,
you go.
because she married into money to have an easy life.
Right, so you have Wrath and the Skipper, because he's always angry and beating the shit out of Gilligan. You
Well,
have Greed.
Gilligan, if he's the devil, his sin would be pride because Lucifer got kicked out of heaven for.
Oh, that's true.
Well, he's
Gilligan.
the king of the Ring of Pride.
Who?
Lucifer,
Lucifer.
the devil.
Oh,
whatever.
sure. Yeah, I'm just trying to, like, I'm missing a sin somewhere, because it's Wrath, Greed, Lust, Pride, Envy,
Sloth, wrath.
Sloth. I said Wrath.
Oh,
I don't know. They should make like a detective movie about the 7 deadly sins.
Glut- should.
gluttony.
Gluttony, that's the one. So you don't really have a gluttonous person on the boat.
Well, Skipper's big enough to have 2. all the random people that come to the island that manage to get away.
Okay. The Harlem Globetrotters. What are they? They're
The
black.
Harlem Globetrotters actually appear on the island.
Wow.
Yeah, they made it on the island.
Thurston Howell's son turns it into a resort.
Yeah.
And then it fails, and they just leave them all there.
No, it was like a movie like way after the series
Yeah.
ended.
Okay.
And after they went to space.
Daniel,
Yes.
did you find anything on gorilla penises?
A lot more information than I was expecting.
Okay.
But apparently they do not have a sheath like most animals do.
Okay.
They do have external. However, because of their biology, they are significantly different than human penises. So human penises do not have a spine, where gorillas do, which allows them to be much more smaller and unobtrusive when they're unaroused. So when we started standing up bipedal, we evolved to lose our penis spine to better mate with females.
That's the bone God took out of us to create Eve.
Could be.
That's in the Bible.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so that is.
Motherfucker, did you give me a point for that?
Shut up.
What am I up to?
It doesn't matter.
69.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so the short answer is no. Gorillas do not have penis sheaths like I expected them to, but they also do not have the overtly displayed penis that humans do, which
See?
I expected there to be no middle ground, and there's a middle
that's-
ground.
So, gives credit to my theory of the reason he covered it is not to have such a prominent weakness on display all the time.
That's the theory. He doesn't want. He's embarrassed of his big dick.
He's probably
it's more big testicles than big dick.
He's probably hit it on something and been like, you know what, that kind of hurt. Maybe we should not do that again.
Or maybe that's how he plays his drums.
Yeah, I mean, gorillas mate by looking at the testicle size. So, do you think Tarzan was a virgin when he met Jane?
No. He's torn something.
He fucked that gorilla hard.
He's torn something up. There's a cheetah that won't look at him the same way somewhere in that jungle.
All right, and on that note, ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to The Orig, a Damage Control podcasting production. Check out...
Middle of the night in the jungle, you just hear a cheetah just...
Wrong hole.
Oh, man, there's so much to talk about.
Just a hole in a tree trunk, just pulverized. Is that sap?
If you want to see more of this antics and episodes, especially other episodes where we're talking about dicks and penises, check out our YouTube channel. Check out us on SoundCloud and Apple.
In the middle of the night, you just hear,
Apple Music. Check us out on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram. We are Damage Control Podcasting. Thank you very much, everybody.
What did George say when he swung?
Adam, hit the button.
He said that.
What did Tarzan say then?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.